Hello, welcome to 8-7. What's going to be different about 8-7 is that today, instead of always having a equal 1, or like there was no coefficient here with the x squared, there's going to be a number there, and unfortunately that's going to change the way that you factor here. Now, if you remember the factoring we did yesterday, and if you remember factor by grouping from 8-5, it's basically taking those two methods and smushing them into one giant factor problem. So here's how we solve that. What you're going to want to do is take this 5 and multiply it by the 6. So first of all, make sure it's in the correct order. This one is. But then take the A. Okay, if you're like, where is she getting this A? A, B, C. Take A times C, which in this case is 30. That's the new number that this time you're going to multiply to. Okay, so I'm like making my little table. What am I adding to? What am I multiplying to? You're still going to add to the linear term or the middle number here, but now you're going to multiply to A times C, which is 30. And now we can go ahead and figure that out. 1 times what is 30? 30, that does not add to 13. 2 times 15 is 30, but does not add to 13. And 3 times 10, hey, there it is. Okay, so that's like yesterday's. But now, this is where you're going to kind of shift to doing factor by grouping. Here's how it works. I'm going to take this 5x squared, and I'm going to take this 6, and I'm going to pull them down. Then this 3 and this 10, they get written over here. It doesn't matter what order. I promise you'll get the same answer either way. And that's where now you're going to go ahead and do factor by grouping. Basically all we've done is we have uncombined like terms. That 3x and that 10x, if you combine them, that would be that 13x. So I've uncombined like terms. But I have very specifically done it this way, and you'll see why here in a second. So what I'm going to do now is my factor by grouping. And it looks like over here I can pull out an x, which is going to leave me with a 5x plus 3. And it looks like on this one I can take out a 2, which is going to leave me with 5x plus 3. Eek, running out of space there. Hey, what do you know? Those are the same. And remember, with our factor by grouping, it's just really fancy combining of like terms. X plus 2, 5x plus 3. That's your answer. Okay, so it's like taking the 8-6 where you made the chart and the factor by grouping, combining it into one giant factor problem. Hey, by the way, what would have happened if instead you wrote it like this, with the 10x, then the 3x? Oops, that's a plus 6, isn't it? Well, you still would have done your factor by grouping. And now on the first set of parentheses, I can take out a 5x, which leaves me with an x plus 2. And it looks like over here I can take out a 3, which leaves me with an x plus 2. So far my work looks really different from what I did last time. Although if I do my really fancy combining of like terms, my parentheses end up in the opposite order, but it's the exact same thing. Okay, that's all you do today. There's a few more examples here where really it just kind of plays with some negatives, so I will do another example. But that's it. So if you think you got it, feel free to pause and try some problems. Otherwise, I'm going to do one with a negative. Which one should we do? How about this one down here with the R? That looks interesting. So I'm going to multiply the 4 times the 7. That's how I get this here to be 28. And I'm adding to, -1. Okay, and so let's see. Ooh. I'm thinking this may be prime. 3, nope. 4 and 7. Oop, that shouldn't be a check. It should be next. Hey, it turns out this one's actually prime, if nothing. The reason I know that this one's prime, the next number, 5 doesn't go in, 6 doesn't go in. The next one is 7. Well, that just starts me back over at the 4. So this one is actually prime. Right? Think about what a prime number is. Nothing, there's nothing that multiplies to become it. Like 11, the only thing you can multiply to get 11 is 1 times 11. You can't do any other, like 15, you could do 3 and 5. So same thing with this. There's nothing you can multiply in to get that. So, well, that was a funky one to choose. Maybe we'll come back up here and maybe do 2b. It looks fun. So I'm multiplying. Actually, on this one, you know what I think I'm going to try first? I noticed that I can take a 5 out of everything. So I'm going to do that instead. And that's going to give me a 5 on the outside and a 2y squared minus 7y plus 6. So this 5 is just going to need to hang out on the left the entire time. All right, so this time I'm multiplying to 12, and I'm adding to -7. Okay, and if you're doing pretty good at these tables, you might already be able to see that 3 times 4 is 12, but a positive 7. So my two numbers are -3, -4. So what I'm going to do this time, don't forget this 5, but I'm just going to leave it here for a minute, and I'm only going to worry about the trinomial. Uncombining like terms in the middle, and bringing the outer two terms down. Next up I get to do factor by grouping. Looks like I can take a y out. Looks like I can take a 2. I think I might try taking a -2 out, because that'll give me a positive 2y and a -3, which is what I want. So now it would be y minus 2, 2y minus 3. There's a catch. Don't forget that there was this 5. All you're going to do is just tack it onto the outside. Just like so. Now, if you hadn't taken that 5 out from the beginning, and you just did, you did yours where you did multiplying to 300 and adding to -35, you would have eventually gotten down to the correct answer. It's just that when you get down to the 2 parentheses after you've done your factor by grouping, you would have got to go ahead and take a 5 out of one of those parentheses. So basically, make sure you're always taking out everything that you can take out from beginning to end. Always factor everything out.